Hello learners, welcome to my channel Study Buzz. This is part 3rd of consumer equilibrium topic. So today we will discuss the topic consumer equilibrium in one commodity case. So let's start the video. First, we need to understand the meaning of consumer equilibrium. Consumer equilibrium refers to a point of maximum satisfaction when consumer is spending his given income across different goods. So basically consumer equilibrium एक पॉइंट है मैक्सिमम सेटिस्फेक्शन का, जहाँ पे कंज्यूमर अपनी गिवन इनकम को स्पेंड करता है डिफरेंट गुड्स में. जब कंज्यूमर को मैक्सिमम सेटिस्फेक्शन मिलती है तो उस पॉइंट पे कंज्यूमर इक्विलिब्रियम में होता है. ओके, नाउ कंज्यूमर विल बाय दैट मच क्वांटिटी ऑफ अ गुड विच गिव मैक्सिमम सेटिस्फेक्शन टू द कंज्यूमर. मीन्स कि कंज्यूमर उतनी ही क्वांटिटी को बाय करेगा जो उसको मैक्सिमम सेटिस्फेक्शन देगा. If he is getting maximum satisfaction, he will not like any changes in his consumption level. See, अगर एक कंज्यूमर को मैक्सिमम सेटिस्फेक्शन मिलेगा तो वो अपने कंजप्शन लेवल को चेंज नहीं करेगा एंड ही विल बी सेट इन इक्विलिब्रियम व्हाइल अदर फैक्टर रिमेन्स कांस्टेंट. जिस पॉइंट पे कंज्यूमर को मैक्सिमम सेटिस्फेक्शन मिलेगा कंज्यूमर उस पॉइंट पे इक्विलिब्रियम में कहलाएगा. ओके, सो देयर आर सम कंडीशंस फॉर कंज्यूमर इक्विलिब्रियम विच इज MUX by PX is equals to MUM. Here MUX is margin utility for X, PX is price of X, MUM is margin utility for money. It can also be written as MUX is equals to PX multiplied by MUM. We can understand consumer equilibrium with the help of table. Let price of X rupees 10 per unit, MUM is 2 util for 1 rupee. So in this table consumer is consuming 5 units of the good. He is getting 50 util from first unit, 40 util after consuming second unit, 30 util after consuming third unit. Earlier we have also understand in law of diminishing marginal utility that additional unit give less satisfaction. So here consumer satisfaction is decreasing with the increasing consumption. So in this table consumer is in equilibrium at the consumption of 4th unit because here the condition for consumer equilibrium MUX is equals to PX into marginal utility for money is fulfilling at consumption of 4th unit. So consumer will be set in equilibrium at unit 4. Now we will understand consumer equilibrium through graph. According to this diagram, consumer is in equilibrium at point E. At point E, consumer is in equilibrium because at this point MUX is equals to PX. So because at this point MUX is equals to PX is the condition for equilibrium which is fulfilling at this point. So he will consume OQ1 quantity of good X at price PX and get maximum satisfaction. Consumer is getting maximum satisfaction at this point. A consumer always ready to pay price equal to marginal utility from the goods. Consumer always ready to pay price PX which is equal to MUX because it is the condition for consumer equilibrium and consumer will always satisfy at this quantity. At this point consumer will always be in equilibrium. Now we will discuss some questions related to consumer equilibrium. If marginal utility for X is greater than to its price, what will be the reaction of the consumer? So we will understand through this table. If marginal utility is greater from price, which is asking in the question, marginal utility is greater than to its price. When marginal utility is greater than its price, here 50 is greater than 20, marginal utility is greater than price. So consumer will increase the consumption. With increasing consumption, his marginal utility will decrease and become equal to price at a point. Because when consumer जब कंज्यूमर अपने कंजप्शन को इंक्रीज करेगा तो उसकी मार्जिन यूटिलिटी डिक्रीज होएगी और एक पॉइंट पे आते आते कंज्यूमर की मार्जिन यूटिलिटी इक्वल हो जाएगी उसके प्राइस के, तो कंज्यूमर विल अगेन बी इन इक्विलिब्रियम. Now the second question is, if price of a good is greater than its marginal utility, what will be the reaction of the consumer? See, if price of good is greater than its marginal utility, in this case consumer decrease the demand for good X. Consumer will decrease from 5 unit, he will reduce his consumption to 4th unit. decrease the demand for good X because he feels that this good is available at high price. So he will demand less. As consumer decrease the demand for good X, its previous unit give more satisfaction in compared to current unit, and finally he will be in equilibrium. देखो, जब कंज्यूमर अपने कंजप्शन को डिक्रीज करेगा तो उसकी मार्जिन यूटिलिटी इंक्रीज हो जाएगी एंड ही विल बी इन इक्विलिब्रियम बिकॉज नाउ द प्राइस विल बी इक्वल टू मार्जिन यूटिलिटी फॉर गुड एक्स. Now one more question is, if price of good X falls, what will be the reaction of consumer? Now here it is not asking the margin utility. It is asking if the price of good X falls, what will be the reaction of the consumer? So if price of the product falls, consumer increases the demand for good X because he feels that this good is available at cheap rate. सी प्राइस फॉल मतलब कि गुड अब चीप रेट पे अवेलेबल हो जाएगा. एज ही स्टार्ट्स टू इंक्रीज द कंजम्पशन फॉर गुड एक्स, इट्स मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी विल डिक्लाइन because additional consumption give less satisfaction and margin utility will decline and becomes equal to its price, and again he will be in equilibrium. Let's understand this question with the help of a table. See, price of X 10 unit, MUM is 2 util for 1 rupee and price falls from 10 to 5. See, पहले प्राइस 10 था जिससे कि PX इंटू MUM 20 आ रहा था. अब प्राइस फॉल हो गया है 5 रुपीज़ पे, तो PX इंटू MUM विल 5 इंटू 2 विच इज़ 10. See, when price is 10, consumer is buying 4th unit because he is in equilibrium at that point when price is 10. But now price falls from 10 to 5. Now consumer will buy ready to buy 5 units because price falls. He thinks that good is available at cheap price. Now the consumer is in equilibrium at the unit of 5 because here MUX is equals to PX at unit 5. Now we will understand this with the help of a graph. See, when consumer is buying Q units at PX price, he is in equilibrium at point E. But when price falls from PX to PX1, consumer will buy more from Q to Q1 and will be in equilibrium again at point E1. When price increases from PX to PX2, consumer reduce his consumption from Q to Q2 because with the decreasing consumption his margin utility will increase and he will again in equilibrium at point E2. I hope you have understand the meaning of consumer equilibrium at one commodity case. Thank you for watching.